What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to D&CGaming Legion. My name is Chris.
And my name is Dan.
And today we're here talking about a transformation discussion video. It's been a little while since we've done a video, and our last video, well, one of our last videos was about Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. That was a very highly successful video, and some people suggested we should do more discussion videos talking about transformations similar to that one. So here we are. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Super Saiyan 4 as a transformation. We have no clue if it's going to be in DLC 10 or if there's going to be any transformation in DLC 10, but that's what we're talking about today. So without further ado, let's dive right into the stats. A little disclaimer, I kind of hate Super Saiyan 4, I'm kind of biased against it and despise it, which is precisely why I'm going to pass the mic over to my good friend here who absolutely loves Super Saiyan 4 so he can talk about his idea for how the stats should be and how the transformation should just function overall. So without further ado, take it away, Danny.
Alright, thank you very much. So this is an idea I've been thinking about for a while. If they were to add this to the game as a transformation, it would obviously have to be vastly different from all the other ones, as to keep things fresh and, not just be a clone or a reskin of one of the other transformations. So this was my idea. When you transform, you should get a 30% increase to your strike moves and ki blast moves, and a 20% increase to your base attack. The drawback, so that it wouldn't be overpowered, would be that everything you do would cost one more bar. So say you're using a move that uses 2 bars of ki. When you're transformed, it would use 3 bars. Snaps and evasives would use 3 and 4 bars of stamina respectively. But to compensate for this, so it's not too much of a downside, your ki would recover at the rate of when you were transformed as a Super Saiyan 2, and stamina would recover at a normal rate, but even while being hit, so it's always recharging. That way it compensates for the extra bar usage. To activate the move, I believe that it's a fair trade-off to cost 5 bars of ki, but when you activate the move, your ki gets drained, such as when Hit uses pure progress, how he loses all his ki. It would function basically like that. So that's pretty much my idea of how Super Saiyan 4 would work if they were to introduce it into the game. That could be a way that they could make it balanced, new, so that it's not just, again, something like they've done in the past where it's just a reskin or they makes you drain ki, stuff like that. It's different, but I don't think it's overpowered, and I put a lot of thought into making it balanced to where you wouldn't necessarily pick it over another transformation because it's better, but because of the things you can do with it.
Yeah, so that's his idea, and I will actually admit myself, I actually think it is actually a really good idea. I actually agree with it 100%. The only thing that I personally would maybe make one little teeny tiny change to is I would make it where, since this drains 5 bars of ki and kind of makes it where you, after you transform, you're not going to have any ki, you got to get it back. The only thing I would change is I would make it where any reinforcement skills would get turned off the second you transform. Not that you can't use them when you're transformed. The reason I say this is because of a Divinity Unleashed, which I know pretty much everybody will jump on and immediately equip for this transformation. I just feel like after you transform, Divinity Unleashed should then turn off and you should have to reactivate it again. That way you can't just transform and then start hitting me and then getting all your ki back like that as if nothing bad happened. That's just my take on it. Some might like that idea, some might hate it. Leave your comments about that, my idea as well as his, down below in the comments section. The only other thing I also would maybe change is make it where if you're ever going up against a Super Saiyan Blue user, you do less damage, you take more damage. Alright, I'm just kidding. Don't get angry, you little Super Saiyan 4 trolls and stuff. I'm just joking.
I was about to say.
I mean, we all know it's true.
No, it isn't.
Lies.
Anyway, that's the idea of how the stats and everything would work. Should we move on to the way it should look?
Yeah, that's what we will talk about in the next section.
So as far as appearance goes, many of you would probably think, well, it's obvious, right? Wrong! Wrong! It's not obvious, because Dimps and Bandai Namco are lazy and stupid, and they don't listen to feedback as often as they should. So I'm going to break it down for you. My top 3 most important things that the transformation would need to have in order to work, more or less, visually, from a visual standpoint. First and foremost, it has to have an animated tail. When they gave us the outfit for our created characters, to put on the Super Saiyan 4 outfit and the wig with the tail, I was very excited, I'm not gonna lie, but I was very disappointed at the same time because the tail didn't move. And I thought, how easy is it to just take the model from Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta and just stick it on an accessory? It doesn't seem that hard. And if the modding community can do it hundreds of times over with ease, with the resources that Bandai Namco and Dimps has, they could do it. It's not hard. So first thing on my list has to have an animated tail. Second thing, the fur colors. Again, I know what you're thinking. It's obvious. Just have it red. But customization is a key aspect of what makes Xenoverse 2 so amazing. And it lacks customization in a lot of areas, which we can cover in another video, specifically about clothing and such. But to be able to color the fur, whatever color you want, gives players so much more freedom. If you want to be Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan 4, you can. Just pick the blue palette for your fur, and it'll match, so you'll look like you're Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan 4. Want to be Super Saiyan Rosé? Pick that palette. And they could go from, reds if you want to be like Kaioken, or gold if you want to be fancy. My personal favorite would be silver, so you could be Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Instinct. In a perfect world, again. In reality, I would accept just plain old Super Saiyan 4 Goku's colors. But in a perfect world, they should have it so you can customize it to any color you want. Lastly, the hair. Again, if I'm just looking for bare minimum here, I would accept them to just give us Super Saiyan 4 Goku's hair. Fine, I'd be okay with that. But in a perfect world, they would have multiple hair options to choose from for when you transform into Super Saiyan 4. And I guess Vegeta and Goku and Gogeta would be on there. But if they wanted to take a step further, they could make their own custom Super Saiyan 4 hairstyles. Like, completely different from just the base hairstyles you pick from when creating your character. I think with more customization added to this game, it would make people look a lot more unique, and the game would benefit from such things like that because it would keep people more involved. You get to make your character the way you envision them, as opposed to just option A through C here that they give you. So those are my ideas. Again, in a perfect world, we can go the extra mile with that other stuff, but base minimum, I expect nothing less than animated tail and, Super Saiyan 4 Goku's looks.
Right, so those are all the things he wants to see as far as appearance goes, and I pretty much agree with 100% with all the points he makes. I think all those things should be implemented for this transformation, or at the very least, the bare minimum, like he said, with the red fur, hairstyle, and Boople's tail, and all that stuff. As for me, in addition to all those things he said, what I would personally like to see them do for this transformation is, one, they should let you change the color of the eyes. Having a variety of eye colors would be nice. They can go with the classic yellow, orangish look. They can maybe have a pure yellow, maybe a more orange one, maybe a red. Maybe the green one that kind of like Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta have. Variety of eye colors would be nice. But again, at the very bare minimum, if they're too freaking lazy, they could just, make it the yellowish orange eye color that Super Saiyan 4 Goku has. The next thing that I actually really
Yes, really
would like as far as this transformation is concerned is Super Saiyan 4, is, you might already notice this if you watch Dragon Ball GT or Super Dragon Ball Heroes, is the transformation is supposed to make the character a little bit more muscular. It's not supposed to be like Broly level of it's not like that, not like, beef stick Broly levels, but it is noticeable. And that is something I would like them to incorporate in this transformation for both the male Saiyans and female Saiyans. Now, as I mentioned previously when I talked about the Super Saiyan Blue evolution transformation in that video, I mentioned that, essentially, for the male Saiyans, it really wouldn't be that hard to make them more muscular, because by default, they're already muscular, so you just gotta take the arm, like the model, and just make it a little bit bigger. That's all. It's not that hard, and there's already kind of an animation in the game that already does that. If you look at the Fruit of the Tree of Might, that kind of bulks your character up for like a brief moment. So just do that for the male Saiyans, to make them a little more beefy. That's really all you get for them. For the female Saiyans, it's a little harder, because by default they're already skinny and you can't really just make the arm bigger. But, as I said in the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution video, Kefla's model is in the game. She's pretty muscular. All you gotta do, take that, put it on our characters, and that's it. It's not that hard, and modders have done this actually for both. There does exist a Ultra Super Saiyan transformation mod for the male Saiyans that makes them beefy, and likewise, if you go on Xenoverse 2 mods, you'll find people have made some mods for female Saiyans, like Legendary Super Saiyan ones that give them more like muscular body. So, point is that if modders can do it with limited resources, there's no excuse for dimps not to do it. On top of that, it'd probably be really easy to use Kefla's model for this, because Super Saiyan 4 is always, there's no shirts for Super Saiyan 4. It's just, the character loses their shirt, and they just have the bra on. So, you wouldn't have to, re-update, the model to work with multiple different clothing types, because you don't gotta worry about that with this transformation. It's, one thing. So, it'd be, one thing they have to design, and that's it. It'd be done. So, that's what I really would like to see, for the transformation for both male Saiyans and female Saiyans. Especially for the female Saiyans. Fun little fact, I said I despise Super Saiyan 4. I do. But I actually really like the way it looks on female Saiyans, if they're muscular. I know, I'm kind of weird. Anyway, one last thing I want to point out that I think would also be nice to addition to this transformation, although this one is very minor, probably the least important thing we've mentioned, is Super Saiyan 4 is supposed to make the character just a little taller, like a foot or two. It's, again, not super noticeable, but if you watch GT, you'll see there's that animation where Vegeta transforms back to his base form from Super Saiyan 4, and you'll see he's a lot shorter when he transforms back to normal. So it does make them a little taller. Again, it's a very minor detail, the least important thing compared to all the other stuff we mentioned, but it would be nice to incorporate that. But yeah, that's pretty much all the things I would want, personally, as for the appearance of Super Saiyan 4. So I guess we'll move on to some closing thoughts.
Well said. I could not agree more with all of those points. Anyway, those are just our thoughts on what we think it should be if they were to put this in the game. We'd love to hear what you guys think, because I'm sure you all have plenty of ideas that would also be really good. So leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Tell us what you would like to see. In the future, we've also had some requests in the Super Saiyan Blue video to do some more of these type of videos for what we'd like to see other transformations make it into the game. So we're gonna be working on those for future videos.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all we have to say. Yeah, this would be a cool transformation if they were to add it, but I mean, as we pointed out, these are the same people that, are too lazy to add movable tails or spiky Saiyan hair. So, as much as, we would like this, I think this probably is a fairly low transformation. The odds of this one showing up in an update are fairly low compared to, say, another transformation like Super Saiyan God. But to be fair, I mean, that is fairly accurate, because as we all know, Super Saiyan 4 was a non-canon transformation, and it's only fitting that they make a non-canon transformation not show up in this game, and the canon and superior transformations like Super Saiyan Blue show up, so, it makes sense, and I know that I'm probably pissing off a bunch of people right now, but that's okay. Feed me your anger, you GT lovers. That is all I will say.
Yeah. Anyway, whether you like GT, or whether you like Super, whether you hate them both, whether you hate either one of them, let us know, I guess. we like hearing everybody's viewpoints, even if we don't necessarily agree with them.
But anyway.
Thanks for watching, guys. Again, we'll bring you some more of these types of videos in the future, and we'll see you next time.
Alright, this is us signing off.